Today is March 1st, 2026. We're in the general address. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good rotation of the earth. May the peace of the Holy Spirit be with you. Welcome to the World Crown. We are in our 9th year. If this is your first time with us, I welcome you. My name is Jose Maria. I am your host. I'm going to begin with an invocation to help atheists understand that we are not a secular organization. I rejoice and trust in you, my precious, tender Holy Spirit. Help us to understand what we don't understand. Guide us and teach us in the way we should go. Welcome again to the World Crown. I welcome doctors, lawyers, psychologists, psychiatrists, educators, tradesmen, business owners, workers, government workers, military personnel, professionals of every field, first responders, religious, and good everyday people. The World Crown and all its emergency services were established above the laws and norms and standards of all nations, and a status quo which continues in a general decline. The World Crown was established with the guidance and blessing of God's Holy Spirit. This means the World Crown is a collaboration between my Holy Spirit and myself, first and foremost. The human condition has historically responded to the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is a regular event in our lives. The human condition has historically responded to the divine intervention of the Holy Spirit by organizing and rallying to create, if not to save, each major religion on this planet. Each major religion is its own organization and part of a greater organization in the greater perspective. That would be us, the world crown, the government of heaven. The government of heaven is the only religious administration at this time approved to accept responsibility for the judgment of God's Holy Spirit, 1919 to the present. The government of heaven is also responsible for making sure all governments, religions, education, and major businesses are judged and corrected. The World Crown was established with the guidance and blessing of God's Holy Spirit, which through our public ministry represents the government of heaven. The presence and success of the World Crown is a lesson to the human condition, whose largest religious bodies have lost the true meaning of the gospel and the meaning of their existence. We have been down this road before many times when our souls are awoken on earth for judgment. The public ministry of the judgment of God is done to finalize a period of years that we have been in judgment. Right now, those years are 1919 to the present. If this is your first time, let me catch you up, especially if you are a communist. God's Holy Spirit is the reason we love so much, the reason we cry so much, and the reason we have faith. It does not matter if you were taught to be an atheist by your government. What happened to you was a conspiracy. Religion is not perfect, and so our Holy Spirit has to remind us regularly and teach us directly through things like the World Crown, or using men and women in all the religions who try their best to teach you about God. We are and have been for some time now in a news and information emergency. For you older readers, you know it as propaganda, a style of news that is not representative of the good, rather the corrupt. A careful, steady judgment of God's Holy Spirit, which has judged the propaganda for many years, 1919 to the present, has shifted into a visible public ministry in order to take responsibility on earth for the judgment of God. That would be the world crown, which on earth is vested in me more than in any palace or building or in any single religion. Historically and most recently, prior to our current global judgment of God, prior judgments of God have left us working governments, thousands of religions, many statues of angels of independence, shrines, temples, histories, scores of writings, declarations, and government resolves. Not to forget days of independence. The current judgment of God is the first judgment of God's Holy Spirit, 1919 to the present, to be overshadowed by mass media, radio, television, the internet, virtual reality, and AI. These create the illusions of our world, a world filled with a leadership grid which seemed untouchable. If a popular leader got judged, the conspiracies of every nation and the news and major businesses collaborated to cover up or occult the judgments of some of the world's most beloved and charismatic leaders for their crimes and conspiracies. News and information are in a general state of emergency. You will read that often and frequently in our government writings. The news and information emergency affects every category which is critical to life. Health information, business information, investment information, educational information, weather information, meteorological information, scientific information, organizational information, religious information, government information, information on television, information on radio, and information from wireless services are affected. As monstrous as propaganda is, the Holy Spirit always has everything under control. The goal is for humans to match the resolve that our Holy Spirit has for this world. Welcome again to the World Crown. If you are new to the World Crown, this post is our first responder address, segment 1 of our 3-part monthly presentation. Our first responder post is emergency information, which does not change very much, but it is updated as needed. The table of contents for this page are as follows. General address, section 1.1.0. Status quo, section 1.1.5. Communication, section 1.1.7. State of the world, section 1.1.8. What is the World Crown? Section 1.2.0. Prayer from the World Crown, section 1.2.1. The Oracle, section 1.2.2 and 1.2.3. State of Religion, section 1.2.5. The Prophet, section 1.2.7. The Judgment of God and Musical Chairs, section 1.3.3. Business and Banking, section 1.4.1. United Nations, section 1.4.2. The Crown Corporation, section 1.5.1. The Internet, section 1.5.2. JC Angelcraft, section 1.6.1. Regulation, section 1.7.1. Donations, section 1.7.2. Economy, section 1.8.1. Law enforcement and firefighters, section 1.9.1. Transitional governments, section 1.9.2. Health, section 1.10.1. Emergency services, current advisory, measuring authority in various topics, section 1.11 through section 1.15. World health information, section 1.16.1. Education, section 1.18.1. Solutions, section 1.19.1. First responder faith, section 1.20.1. Conclusion and prayer, section 1.21.1. Earth prayer, section 1.21.2. Our first responder sectional videos are pre-recorded and updated as needed. If you are a new reader, we suggest you read all the sections because the World Crown is the government of heaven, as we advertise. The World Crown is substantiated, otherwise I would not waste my time. I am a very practical man who also does not like my time wasted either. I also have 2 aging parents who I love very much and who require a good amount of my personal time. The World Crown is an emergency organizational solution for our world. Since starting 9 years ago, we have received no complaints or calls to agree or disagree with our presence. The World Crown is the better status quo. Stick with us.